What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here from Darian's Pokemon. Going to be playing a game on PTCGO today. I've tweaked my Buzzwole list a little bit, so for expanded format, going to be showing that off if I can find it. There it is. I'm going to be showing this off. I've tweaked it. I've got some really cool stuff in here, but I can't get it to beat Night March consistently. So, that's my only consolation. I think, if you take the Buzzwole deck, and Buzzwole is good in expanded format. The card's insane. But if you take the deck and you build it to beat Night March, I think you compromise some other important matchups. So you could beat Night March, maybe you play some Karen, maybe you play some Versus Seeker, maybe you play some copies of, Focus Sash or Focus Band. Focus Sash. I've been playing old decks. Focus Band's a card in old decks. But maybe you play some of these cards, give you an edge up against Night March. However, I've included some cards that I think will allow this deck to beat item lock decks, which has been really valuable for me. I think the deck list as I have it right now actually does very well against Toad Zoroark, which I consider to be a really good deck in expanded format. Can also beat Wailord because I've included a Carbink Break line, which is really cool. I love the Carbink Break in here. The Carbink Break has just been a lot of fun to play. It's just a 1/1 line, but being able to kind of juice up your attackers and things like that, if you happen to have a heavy discard like this one, can be really, really good too. And if you just happen to be having a game where you're missing max elixirs, that can be super useful. So looks like I'm playing against a Trevenant deck and going first. This is very valuable. I'm not going to end up attaching the strong energy because I suspect that will just get enhanced hammered right away. But I do need to get moving here. So I am going to have to let go of some of this energy. Now against Trevenant, I am going to want to set up Rockruffs and bring things up. The Buzzwole, can be valuable as well, but I think Rockruff is probably going to be our best bet. And then just going to want to, definitely to Bloodthirsty Eyes and bring up things on the bench. So I'm definitely going to want to grab that. And then we're going to see if maybe we can hit a max elixir. The odds of that happening are extremely slim, but we did it. All right. And then we're going to attach an energy to the active Rockruff and Sycamore. And in this list, you guys will see I am not playing any copies of Versus Seeker. So I should draw really well against Trevenant, against an item lock deck, which is really exciting too. Gonna slap the Floatstone on my active Rockruff here, and there's no point in putting Brooklet Hill down yet. I don't think there's anybody that I really need to set up, but I will put down the Buzzwole and the Sudowoodo. I'm also playing 4 copies of, and let's just pass. I'm also playing 4 copies of Guzma. So I have a lot of outs to get myself out of a turn 1 item lock 2, but and my opponent's going to guess me for 0. They do not know that I'm not playing any Versus Seeker in here. And this list, as I have it right now, I really love this list. It works really well. And it's really stable. You would think, Andrew, you're crazy for not playing any Versus Seeker. But against item lock decks, this makes this deck so much better. And let's see. So I can go ahead, get a turn 2 knockout. Maybe. No, I can't get a turn 2 knockout. I would have to hit a max elixir or something like that. I can, let's see, I could Brooklet Hill. I'm trying to figure out, I could Guzma off the Oricorio. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, I don't think. Then I'm not going to be able to do, I could Guzma up the Oricorio and corner. That actually could be really good. So let's do that. Let's Guzma up the Oricorio, and let's just see if I can corner this thing and get it to stick. And then if I can get the Oricorio to stick, that could give me just another turn with more items. So let's see if we can make this happen here. Corner has been amazing in expanded format. Just the ability to be able to stick something useless in the active position has been so good. I imagine that they're just going to attack here. Shaman's too. Shaman's even better. Being able to just Guzma, bring up Shaman, corner, and then stick a Shaman in the active position. They can Sky Return, but a deck like Trevenant is not really going to be able to do that. Looks like my opponent is playing Bursting Balloon, but that's fine. I will probably computer search. That's a little bit rough with the Flare Grunt, but that's fine. I would like to computer search and get an energy, maybe corner the Shaman as well. That would be really good if I could just corner that. I don't need it. I'm just going to be able to bring up, I could Guzma, bring up the Shaman, and then play another item card. I think that that would be great, so I don't have to hit into this thing. Let's just Guzma, bring that up, and we're going to bring my other Rockruff up. Let's counter the Stadium here, and I think I just, let's see, let's bring out a Remoraid maybe. I could bring out Remoraid. I could bring out Carbink to bring some energy back into play, but my Carbink break is prized. Let's go ahead with the Remoraid strategy, and then maybe next turn I could just have like a very powerful turn where I like play a bunch of items because I get Octillery into play. That would kind of be ideal. And then next turn I would like to GX something with this GX unless I get Flare Grunted again. But you can see I'm buying myself time. This is extremely useful in this matchup, and it's just because of Corner and Guzma. I just have a lot of options here, you know, because I'm able to stick them, you know, where they don't want to be. I could potentially GX this Necrozma next turn. That's an option. The only rough thing about this matchup right now is just that I had that ugly Sycamore on the first turn of the game. They're building up their bench, but as far as things here go, like, I'm playing items. So as far as I'm concerned, I am winning right now. I can Colress for 6. I could computer search for something first. I'm not sure that I want to do that though. The computer search seems really good, especially since I do play such a high count of Guzma in here. So I think I'm just going to Colress first. Colress for 7. Excuse me, my cough there. And let's see if we get any item cards worth playing. I think, let's see, I could attach the Floatstone to the active. I do not have an energy yet, but that's not surprising considering how rough kind of my energy situation has been this game. Let's go ahead. I'm probably going to end up Ultra Balling for something, but let's just Max Elixir first. We hit. I think I need to put that onto my Buzzwole, and we need to just start building up a Buzzwole here. Like, we just have to do that. And then I think I'm going to Ultra Ball my 2 ends away and grab myself, what, Carbink? No, Lycanroc. We're going to grab Lycanroc here. And let's bring up, let's see, I want a Dangerous Rogue something. So I can Dangerous Rogue the Necrozma and knock it out. I can't Dangerous Rogue the Trevenant unless I get a strong energy. So I think I am going to put this here. That was a misplay. Gosh, I think, because then I could have knocked out the Necrozma, but I think I want to knock out the Trevenant. So let's just go for the strong energy. So that's not necessarily a misplay. Let's just go for the Trevenant, do as much damage to that thing as we can, and then let's Abyssal for 5. I messed up. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Let's see. I don't know. I think I stuck myself here. Yep, let's bring up. I forgot to play my item. I forgot that I was about to item lock myself. Let's see. Can we hit 2 Max Elixirs on the Buzzwole? If I turn this misplay around by also knocking out the Necrozma, this is the most hilarious thing ever. Oh, that was a really embarrassing line of play, but you know what? I'm absolutely going to take it. So let's just go ahead and do it. I'm just going to Knuckle Impact the Necrozma with the double Bloodthirsty Eyes there. That was just a misplay. I'm sorry, guys. That was my fault. I was thinking that I would like bring up the Trevenant and then hopefully Abyssal into a strong energy. But what ended up happening was that I forgot to put the Choice Band down first. I just had a brain fart and forgot that I was going to item lock myself before I did that. So I brought up the Trevenant, item locked myself, and then realized that I couldn't put the Choice Band down. So then I Abyssalled and then I had to bring up something else. But because of my insane draw, I actually was able to just knock out that Necrozma wholesale. So that is fine. My opponent benching another card is going to give me an option to be able to knock out the Trevenant with a Dangerous Rogue GX, which is great. I also have a Brooklet to counter their stadium again. Continuously countering my opponent's stadiums is going to put a lot of pressure on them just because it's tough. Like, they definitely want to have that stadium out so that they can silent fear for 1 energy. Let's see. My opponent, they're going in with Oricorio right now. I suspect that they want to attack with Trevenant, but we'll see. They're playing Crushing Hammers too, so this is a little bit of a difficult Trevenant list to play against because they do have the Bursting Balloons, they do have the Crushing Hammers, but if I could just take 3 knockouts real quick on 3 GXs, we can end this game before it even gets to, like, the stressful part of things. So they're actually going to leave me with items, which has got me completely floored right now, that they don't want to bring this Trevenant up. They just are feeling a little threatened, I guess, so they're not going to do that. Let's see here. I don't necessarily think there's anything I want to bring out with Brooklet Hill. I want to power up this Lycanroc again, but my thought is that I want to Guzma something up. So I think I'm just going to have to Guzma up the Lele or something, or even the Trevenant. I think I would bring up the Trevenant. Let's just put this down, and then hopefully we could just hit on this Guzma and go in with Dangerous Rogue GX. And we did, because my opponent for some reason decided not to lock me again. So that's really good. Let's just put the float stone here so that Buzzwole can attack again. And then we're just going to computer search away these 2, grab myself another Guzma, and then I have 1 Guzma left, and they're just going to go ahead and scoop. So sloppy game on my part. I apologize to you guys for that, but you saw, like, that thing was running pretty fire. So going to give it 1 more game real quick, see what other kind of matchup I can get with my expanded Buzzwole list. But this is one of my top choices for the Dallas Regional Championships, and this expanded Buzzwole list, as I have it built right now, only has 3 expanded cards in it. There are no Versus Seeker in the list. It's just 2 Colress and a computer search, and that's it. And this deck has been going toe-to-toe with every expanded contender except for Night March. I mean, so, like, that's kind of like my one reservation. I don't think I can go into a big tournament like Dallas and just say, like, I'm not going to play against any Night March, but, if you were feeling lucky, you could make it happen. It definitely is possible. This deck, it doesn't need a lot of resources to work well. You don't need to be drawing crazy cards with Zoroark. You don't need to be doing, crazy plays like that. You don't need Versus Seeker. You don't need Ghetsis. You don't need Hex Maniac. You're just going to try and take 3 knockouts extraordinarily quickly and see how that goes for you. Now, I have started a little bit of a dud hand. I actually would have liked to put my Remoraid down, but I've accidentally clicked through things in a way that is not happening. It's not allowing that to happen. So it looks like I am playing against a Silvally deck with Golisopod in it. So this is very interesting. I don't exactly know how this is going to work out, but we will suspend judgment until we get to see what my opponent's deck is really about here. So we're going to just wait and see. My opponent has also got Oranguru in play, so I suspect that they play Grass Energy, maybe double colorless. They got the Silvally preemptively. What do they want to instruct for 1? There they go. They're going to instruct for 1. They've got the Silvally GX in their hand, and that is that. So we've got 2 Lycanroc. Okay, and nothing going on here. So I think I'm just going to bench my Remoraid and pass. I don't really see any point in bringing anything else up. That Silvally will give all basics free retreat, so no point in that. I'm not attaching to anything. We're just going to see if this game can buff out real quick. If not, we will go to a 3rd game and see if maybe we can get a little bit of a better start there. So they're just going to be instructing for 3. They don't have anything else going on right now. They do have free retreat, but they don't have like a supporter to play, so they very well could just pass too. It's not a guarantee, or they could first impression. They are definitely going to first impression with that Grass Energy. So we are on the clock now. We've got to top deck something for sure, or else this game is a loss, and we are just going to go on to the next. And we've got a Sycamore. But at what costs do we have that Sycamore? Oh god, it's ugly. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All right. If we come back and win this game after losing all those resources, I'm going to be pretty impressed. But I think we could do it. All right. So let's go ahead here. Our Lycanrocs are going to be a bit of a liability. They're also both down. So I do have my Rescue Stretcher in deck, though, so maybe for another time. But we will get the Buzzwole going here. And we're also going to attach an energy to the Buzzwole. And then I would like to Ultra Ball to, as crazy as this is, we just got to let these rip to set up a little bit. I think I'm going to set up, oh my gosh, who else am I going to get? I could get a Rockruff. I could get a Lele. I think I want to get a Rockruff to my other Remoraide's prized, unfortunately. So we'll just get this guy just so we have somebody else out to promote so that next turn, hopefully I can, maybe do something where I N and hit a Floatstone, Max Elixir Energy, something crazy like that, and can actually take out this Golisopod. Otherwise, this thing's just going to start armor pressing, and it's just going to be really tough. So I may need to do something where I just Jet Punch, even though I just would hate to Jet Punch. That just seems so bad. Jet Punching into an armor press, that just is like really suboptimal. But we do need to get cruising here. I wish I hadn't prized my second Remoraid. I would have gone for the second Remoraid here instead of the Rockruff. I think I was playing with haste and didn't even check that. So let's see, what can we do here? We've got a strong energy. We've got a Brooklet Hill. Let's go get ourselves another Buzzwole. I'm going to power that guy up. And we're just going to attach a strong energy here, Choice Band, and just going to end my opponent down to a lower hand. And looks like we're just going to pull the classic wait and see situation. So I am not gonna attack. There's no point in attacking. Just hope that my opponent doesn't have a Guzma, and then we're just gonna go in next turn. I will attach a Floatstone, I think, to one of my Buzzwoles and bench the other one, just so that we have some of our guys down in case we get end. I don't want to draw back into these cards. I need to draw nothing but hot cards here from now on. I don't think that Rebel GX, so long as my opponent's going to take a knockout this next turn, so Rebel GX isn't too much of a concern, because, then I'm just going to be rocking two benched Pokemon, just pure Buzzwole magic over here, over on my side of the board. Really hoping that they just don't have a Guzma this turn. That's really my only concern. They do have two in the discard pile, but I gotta imagine that they got some Versus Seeker action going on in their hand, and that potentially they can Guzma, but they don't. So that means I'm going to be able to take a knockout here. Since they're armor pressing, I'm probably just going to Absorption. So we're looking at that as our play. Let's go ahead, Brooklet Hill, get ourselves another Rockruff, or we could get Carbink. I think Carbink's actually better. Let's get Carbink out. And that, I think I'm still safe from that play there, because they could do 180 with the Choice Band. So we're going to get Carbink out in case we rip Carbink Break off this prize. And if we get Carbink Break off this prize, then, I can potentially charge up another Buzzwole on the bench here, which could be good. So we'll see. I got Remoraid and Max Elixir. And yes, charging up another Buzzwole with Carbink could be valuable. But also just hitting Guzma next turn and going down to 2 prizes also could be really valuable, and just an insane comeback. Now, my opponent, I'm thinking they probably have Psychic Memory. If they got Psychic Memory, this is just going to be bad news. I didn't really consider that they probably are running Psychic Memory. I was kind of just trying to, run things back here real quick, but I imagine that they're going to have Psychic Memory on that Savali. When they get Psychic Memory on that Savali, things are looking pretty rough for me. I don't know that my deck has enough juice to be able to whoop up a Buzzwole like that out of nowhere. So if they slap down a Psychic Memory, this is all bad. But so long as there's no Psychic Memory, we're good. And they've got a okay, so they might not have Psychic Memory in here. Truthfully, I have no idea what I'm playing against. I have no idea what kind of deck this is. I haven't seen it before. I just don't know. So my opponent is going for Guzma. Maybe they're going for Guzma, take them down to 2 prizes remaining. So That's fine here. Potentially maybe shouldn't have benched the Carbink, just make them take out 2 Buzzwoles for a game. But I'm kind of fine with this too. If, so long as they don't Field Blower this Buzzwole, they're resetting my dude for me here, which is really good. And I could just end my opponent to 1. That could be good. Let's promote the Buzzwole with the Floatstone and see what kind of magic we can cook up here in our final turn. Let's see. Do I have a Lele in here? I do have Lele and I do have N. So that's probably going to be the move. I'm not going to get anybody. I am just going to go ahead and Ultra Ball away my Floatstone and my Brooklet Hill and get that Lele. I'm not going to bench the Remoraid, because benching the Remoraid will make it so that that thing can just Rebel GX me for game, so I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead, search for a supporter, and we're going to grab an N and just try to give my opponent the good old N to 2 treatment and see what goes. Like, I know they've got a Rangaroo, but at this point, I feel like some hand disruption is better than no hand disruption. Let's put energy there, max elixir, we got a hit. All right, another energy on that Buzzwole, and N. So see if we can stick my opponent here in some kind of way that they don't end up getting game. That would be great. Let's see, my Buzzwole right now is doing 160, 180 is doing 210 perfectly. They did not armor press last turn, so I'm cool on that. Let's just try my last max elixir, and we whiffed. That's fine. And we're going to go ahead and just give them the good old knuckle impact for knockout. And we're going to go down to 2 prizes remaining. What a goofy series so far. You guys have seen just a couple of really wild and interesting games on this side of the field. So we've been kind of devoid of our Lycanroc situation all game here. Last game, you saw me double Lycanroc in the same turn because I'm bad, but that's fine. We're just out here having fun, playing some expanded games, showing off this Versus Seeker list, Buzzwole list, and doing okay with it. Honestly, like, you know, not disappointed at all with how this Buzzwole list has been treating me, other than the Night March matchup. But you can even finagle the Night March matchup sometimes. Tell you what, Corner Shaman is just like really good. It can buy you a turn when you need it. Just corner onto Shaman. I'm not sure that this Silvally is going to be able to knock me out, right? They're at 180. Am I missing anything here? I'm pretty sure Rebel GX just does 180 damage, and that's it. Unless they're going to come in and a Rangaroo me. They are going to Rangaroo me, so that is annoying, to say the least. I need a final Guzma here, or else it's not happening. So I don't have any way to limit my opponent's options here. I have to imagine that they have game, so that's just super frustrating. We just don't have it. Usually you will have had a Lycanroc out at this point. I think I just misplayed by not getting the Rockruff out, but instead of but I couldn't have gotten the Rockruff out because my opponent would have knocked me out with a GX attack. So I think like we just lose now. I could actually, yeah, I guess I think like we try to corner the Oranguru. Hope they don't have any sort of game-winning attack loaded up, something like that. So let's just go ahead, Sycamore here, and I think we just hope that they don't have it, but they probably will, but we're just going to hope that they don't. So let's just retreat these, and just a weird game, and let's just corner the Oranguru. There's nothing else I really can do. They got Versus Seeker, so I imagine they're just going to be slapping that down, and that's going to be it. So, yep. They got game on me. Such an awkward start there for the Buzzwole deck, but like, you know, at the end of the day, was able to almost come back with like no setup whatsoever. Took out a couple of Golisopod in route to doing that, but anyways, you can't win them all. So thank you all for watching. Gonna be showing off this Buzzwole list that is kind of my creation, my little Peck deck here for expanded format. It's pretty much very similar to the last list that I showed off, very similar to standard lists. Like I said, there are only 3 expanded cards in here, but if you don't happen to have a lot of expanded cards at your disposal, this deck is an option. You know, I mean, it doesn't do too well against Night March, but it does have a lot of options. The Carbink Break allows you to beat Wailord. You could just continue juicing up your Buzzwoles, and that's like totally fine. Usually you do fine against Trevenant for the most part, between cornering things that they don't want in the active position, and then also being able to Bloodthirsty Eyes, out of item lock is like really good. The deck's just very consistent for the most part. Obviously you saw a little bit of a dud game there in that last one, but otherwise been happy with the deck, and it's definitely a viable option in expanded format. So thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to let me know what you think of this deck in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel. Peace.